Now, a story that is wildly depressing, but has a bit of a happy ending. This guy, Koua Fong Lee, was convicted of negligent homicide because he slammed it into the back of a car, killed the two people inside, a dad and a son, and he was going into them at about 70, 90 miles per hour when he smashed into the back of their car. And he said, look, I was slamming on the brakes and it didn't work. No one believed him. The mechanic said there was nothing wrong with the brakes. He got put away in jail. Turns out he had a Toyota. And now they're looking at it, and they believe that he had sudden acceleration. He was not lying, and it was the car, it wasn't him. And so he is likely to be released from prison. The family that, was devastated by, of course, the killing of the son and the dad, who had blamed Lee for it and had said in his sentencing, you've destroyed our family, et cetera, et cetera. Now I believe Lee is innocent, and of course they're going to saddle up and sue Toyota. Okay. Now, a couple of twists in this story. It was a 1996 Toyota Camry. What did I tell you earlier? All the Toyotas might be busted. They said, oh no, just 09 and 2010 Toyotas. Then we got reports that all the way back to 2000 there were complaints. That's a 96 Toyota. So, now I was telling my dad this, I don't think I said it on air. There's some chance Toyota is done. Okay? Now that sounds like a crazy statement. Toyota's a giant, giant company, and this is however big a problem it is, it's still somewhat limited. It's certainly not in all the cars, etc. But the reason they're denying up and down that it's an electrical problem is because mechanical problems are much, much easier to fix, and they would be in a limited number of cars. If it's an electrical problem that's in all of your cars, you have to recall all of your cars as far back as the eye can see. And who the hell is going to buy a Toyota now when they haven't figured this thing out? No one, right? And, as I told you, Dad, they're going to get sued so badly on so many different fronts. I think I read in the story that, nope, it's right here, yeah, 16 potential class action lawsuits already. Nobody's going to get sued more than Toyota. So there's some chance that Toyota, you're in a world of trouble, man. And this guy, by the way, went to jail over this, okay? And he was, his life is destroyed. And now that people finally believe him, he says, look, I started to doubt myself. He's like, I was slamming up with both feet on the brakes, and I couldn't get the car to stop. But everybody told me it was my fault, and everybody told me it couldn't be the car. So I was starting to doubt myself, and I had trouble sleeping, and those guys died, and he had his pregnant wife in the car. What's he doing going 70, 90 miles per hour? He wasn't going 70, 90 miles per hour. And he was merging onto the highway. It's crazy. Now, how's Toyota going to compensate him, let alone the dead family? They're in big, big trouble. JR.
It's weird. I'm going to have to ask my brother. He told me probably 2 years ago that he was on the highway. He lives down in San Diego. And he just freaked out. I think he was talking to me on the phone like right after it happened. And he said somebody next to him just accelerated for no reason into the back of the car next to him. And he was just freaking out, and he said, I don't get it, out of nowhere. It's not like it was open season, but there was space. And he said they probably flew into him at like 60 miles an hour when there's not much room. He said, I don't know what was wrong with that guy.
That's a really scary story.
Yeah, he said, I would have jumped out of that car and whooped his ass. He was all mad and stuff. He said, I couldn't believe that. He said, it's amazing. I don't know what that guy was thinking. Like, he couldn't come up with a logical explanation for why that guy did it. So I'm going to ask him, because we notice cars. We always remember the types of cars. He may remember what kind of car it was. Maybe
when was that?
It's probably a couple years ago, 2 years ago.
See, the other amazing part of this story is, it's all these stories throughout the country, at least 2,600 complaints of the same exact thing between 2000 and 2010, right? And they all get ignored because the big company couldn't be wrong, right? Of course they're going to be right. You all have to be wrong. So if the sudden acceleration happened to you, it was your fault. And, I mean, that's how the powerful crush. And we talked about it before. The regulators that were supposed to be regulating Toyota then later stopped being government regulators and worked for Toyota. Now, how much incentive do they have knowing that those jobs are waiting out there for them, to get tough on Toyota. No. And there was the stories in the congressional hearings where the regulators would roll their eyes and laugh at people. That's Mr. Toyota right there. No wonder he looks glum. It's going to be hard to turn that frown upside down. It's a bad angle on him, man. Looks like he's having a bad day. And if these stories are right, he's going to continue to have a lot of bad days. All right, that's Toyota, or that was Toyota. Okay. By the way, man, it all comes up when right after I bought the Toyota. I know we talked about this before, but I am an unbelievable jinx. Did I jinx them all the way back in '96 because they knew I was going to buy a car in 2009?